What's trending? Discussing the continued detention of the suspended chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrasheed Bawa, and the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. Well, on June 14th, President Bola TINUBU suspended Bawa on the account of weighty allegations of abuse of office levied against him. His suspension was to allow for proper investigation of the allegations. Since then, he has been in custody of the Department of State Services. Reports say the DSS obtained a court order to detain Bawa for 2 more weeks, which has since elapsed, while human rights lawyer Belumi Olajengbesi has faulted the continued detention of the suspended EFCC chairman. Well, in a statement, the lawyer said Bawa's continued detention amounts to a violation of his fundamental human rights and wants the DSS to release him without further delay or charge him to court to face charges preferred against him. In the same vein, the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, who has been in DSS custody since June 10th, has not been charged to court. Rufai, last week we saw the story of Emefiele's brother coming out to say that, he believes that this is a political witch hunt and he believes his brother might die in jail. I mean, this flagrant disregard for the rule of law, which I would love for us to discuss when I take this other story. In another development, the Presidential Election Petition Court concluded hearing of petitions before it on Wednesday. The court has now adjourned for the adoption of final written address to a date to be communicated. Before the adjournment, President Bola TINUBU and Vice President Kashim Shettima and the All Progressives Congress closed their defense after calling Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele as their only witness. The team of lawyers in the APC camp also tendered loads of documents to further affirm that Bola TINUBU won the February 25th presidential election. Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ozokome, said the documents the APC submitted were actually in favor of the petitioners.
The documents he tendered, particularly the report on the FCT, as a symbol of status and as a fountain of unity of the country, which they themselves tendered, was actually in favor of the petitioners. We were also able to elicit from the witness that TINUBU did not win in his own state, and that he was the only presidential candidate that did not win in his own state. All others won. Atiku won in his own state, Peter Obi won in his own state, and Kwakonso won in his own state.
Well, I thought it was important to bring this important information to the public. A lot of people were talking about the fact that, the APC did not tender enough witnesses. I'll take a tweet from Bayo Ononugwa, who quoted the APC lawyer, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Lateef Fagbemi. Well, he wrote, having taken a sober reflection of the entire case, we have enough evidence and we are not calling any witness. We do not intend to whip a dead horse. We announce the closure of the case of the third respondent, the APC. Rufai, if you can just
if the APC says they've made all their deposition, they've called all their witnesses, a lot of people felt they were going to stretch it, but since they said they're not calling any more witness, that's it. INEC's case too was very short. In fact, INEC couldn't get a witness in the first case. I think it was against the Labour Party case, but they finally got the witness there for domestic issues. So they finished there. So it's for the court to be able to decide now. Let's see how pause. But going back to Emefiele and Bawa, we should not do this to ourselves in this country. It smacks of a lot of injustice and political witch hunt. Charge them to court. And I think what the authorities, the DSS, normally had under is this ACTA, and which a lot of people are beginning to call that ACTA should be reviewed. Because based on ACTA, they say once you get a magistrate to be able to sign, you can extend the date. But for Emefiele, what are even the charges? Because since they were talking about terrorism in the charges, it's not supposed to be a higher court that is supposed to sign up on that detention. But because what they do with ACTA, pretty much they get the slip, they get a magistrate to sign, and they keep filling the dates in. So you do the first 14 days, you another 14 days. With ACTA, sometimes you can go up to 56 days. And that's why ACTA should be reduced. Because when you now go back to the Constitution, you shouldn't detain somebody more than 24 hours without charging them to court. But this has gone longer for a while. They keep saying they're investigating. How long is it going to take you to investigate somebody and charge them to court?
It's unfair. It's almost becoming a norm, and
so
it shouldn't be.
It's becoming a norm, and people are now using this law, the lacuna in this ACTA, to be able to punish people and violate human beings' rights. this man should be taken to court.
Absolutely.
I hear there's a court case coming up on the 13th of July for emefiele. Let's see how that pans out.
Absolutely.
But this continued detention is abhorrent.
Yeah. Well, illegality cannot beget illegality. One of the criticisms of the previous administration was there, in some cases, flagrant disregard to the rule of law. And the TINUBU administration does not want to start on that note. We are hopeful that we're moving away from that. He had mentioned a number of times that he was going to respect the judiciary, was going to respect the rule of law, and this is a clear way to demonstrate what he has said. The world is watching. If there are any charges against them, let them charge them to court and let him demonstrate that he is going to be different from what we had with the previous administration.
Well said, Ayo. Dr. Bati.
Just a quick thing. Pelumi Olajengbesi, who says, you know, there are fundamental rights issues, human rights issues with regard to Bawa, and also maybe by extension to Olajengbesi. There's something called fundamental enforcement of fundamental human rights procedural rules, 2009, Power Justice, Legbo Kutigi. Now, under that particular rule, one, there's no application of locus standi. Also, there's no statute of limitation. So what Pelumi Olajengbesi needs to do is to file a notice of application for the enforcement of the rights of the affected individual. So, you know, they can go to court and argue it out. But it is true, ACJA gives you that room. And ACJA was the last piece of legislation that President Jonathan signed into law on May 29, 2015, and it's been there. But the rules that I've just defined are there. So Olajengbesi is not started bad, either from the point of view of limitation or locus standi. That's what the law says.
Well, I wish we had more time on What's Trending today. Thank you all. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.